over it. The voice booms from the back of the sanctuary. The pastor has just led her white congregation in a tense but respectful discussion about racism in the United States. They've talked about Black Lives Matter and the Confederate flag. They've discussed the murders at Emmanuel AME in Charleston and the tiki torches at Charlottesville. They have shared family stories of loving their black nannies and stories about the grandfathers of friends who were lynched. They haven't gotten many answers, but it seems everyone agrees that racism is a real problem. That is, until the man in the back, who has been silent with his arms folded for the whole conversation, stands up. "Get over it," he says loudly. Those people just need to get over it. Slavery ended a long time ago. Racism isn't a problem anymore. Come on, we even had a black president. And just like that, the entire conversation comes to a standstill. This scene plays out again and again in American churches today. One person's dismissal of a problem shuts down conversation. White Christians who don't see the realities of oppression and racism in our country lob the "get over it" grenade or variations of it. End of conversation. Once in our radio show, Radio in Black and White, we did a show called It, as in get over it. And we encouraged people to call in and articulate what it is. We wanted people to tell us what they thought people needed to forget, overlook, or dismiss. What did they want all of us to get over? Did they want us to get over slavery, racism, oppression in general, or would they delve deeper? On the show, people offered all kinds of rationale for why they felt people of color should simply be past what happened so long ago, quote unquote. They talked about how they thought conversations about these things just make racism worse. They shared that people shouldn't continue to bring up things that didn't even happen to them. And a brave few souls admitted that when they said they wanted people of color to get over it, they were really just saying that they didn't want to feel uncomfortable anymore. They admitted that they didn't know how to proceed in the conversation about race without offending someone. We appreciated these honest answers the most. From our perspective, people who say we all need to just get over it are actually getting rid of their own discomfort. The continuing racial separation in the United States and white people's culpability in that separation makes them uncomfortable. Asking people of color and others who simply can't let it go to get over it displaces that discomfort a bit. A dear friend once told us that telling people to get over slavery is like telling your grandfather to keep World War II to himself. We wouldn't expect him to suppress the stories and experiences of that violent, horrific war. We know those experiences were important to him, and we know that they shaped who he is as a person. Why would it be any different with slavery or the long history of racism in the United States? Those experiences built the America that we know today. They are important to our understanding of ourselves as people, and they have, in every way, shaped our identities as people in America. In fact, to deny the history of slavery and its legacy today is to deny something fundamental about who we are. Denying the ongoing harm, trauma, and oppression caused by centuries of slavery is to deny the fact that the image of God within people of color was systematically battered, bruised, and imprisoned. That's why we just can't get over it. Meet Plantation Jesus. Denying the pain of someone else's past or present requires being comfortable with the suffering of others. It's in this space of denial that we meet Plantation Jesus, a God who is comfortable with pain and suffering, an idol who can only exist in oppression and codified bigotry. Plantation Jesus provides a faith-based justification for racism. Plantation Jesus is a false God who lives within systemic and institutional racism, who continuously distorts an authentic Christian message and who is complicit with unequal treatment for financial gain. Plantation Jesus has been around since the earliest days of colonial America. He made it possible for white Christians to participate in and bless the transatlantic slave trade, during which 12.5 million Africans were shipped to the New World. Plantation Jesus blessed the practice of baptism and giving a Christian name to captives in chains as they boarded slave ships, as they were stacked like cordwood, and as they were forced to live in their own waste for weeks and months on end. Plantation Jesus' name was on the